Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a special guest, Dr. Alice. She's a pharmacist too, and she has a YouTube channel. So in our previous conversation, we were talking about alcoholism. So part 1 is on her channel, yeah. And today on my channel we are tackling part 2, and we are continuing to interview Ann, who has battled alcohol and she's recovered it. She's been sober for 15 years. Yeah, so stay tuned, and for continuation, go to her channel. I'll link it in the description box. Then you go and watch it so that you can come and catch up with part 2 here. So now let us talk about your recovery journey while at the rehab. How was it for you? How was the experience for you now until you left the rehab and now you're completely okay?
So we traveled by night because actually my mom told this guy, don't take Jerry to the rehab during the day because if she'll run away.
She'll run away.
But no, by the time you get to Nairobi, you'll find her there. So make sure you take her at night. She doesn't know where she's going. Anyway, I ended up in the rehab, and I'm very grateful to my mom and to my friend who took me to the rehab, and everybody else who supported me with prayers and all that. Because people tend to think that you can just pray for an addict and actually they stop. They stop drinking.
Yeah, they stop drinking.
For people who are abusers, they can stop once you deal with the underlying issues. But the moment now it drifts to the 4th stage, 5th stage, and now it's being called an addiction. Let that person get professional help and pray for him or her when they are inside there. So the first thing that amazed me when I got to the rehab is the love that I found in the rehab, where everybody else, you walk in through the gate, other people are coming. I was wondering, are they coming to beat me or are they coming to do what?
To arrest you or something?
Yeah, the other alcoholics who've been there, who are, and drug addicts who've been there longer, or people with substance use disorders, because these days we are not using alcoholics and drug addicts, who have been there longer, and they are welcoming you. So they take your bag, they say, karibu sana, hata sisi tulikuja hivo, you are going to be okay. So I found a lady now, whom I was sharing the room with, and I thought she was the secretary. Because she had very nice nails, she had lipstick on, and she was telling me, don't worry, even when I came, I had very bad withdrawals, because she was actually a heroin addict. Yeah, she had been doing heroin for a long time. So she told me, in fact, I've been here for longer than I thought, because my problem was bigger. But then a lot of love from the people, from the clients themselves, from the counselors themselves. The counselors are trained recovering persons. So I found a lot of love there, a lot of
they just gave you hope.
And that gave me a lot of hope, because the person who admitted me, the counselor who admitted me, he introduced himself and said, I'm also a recovering alcoholic. I'm 7 years sober. So
at least there's hope.
You can overcome. If him is 7 years, and he's the one who is admitting me inside the rehab, that possible. Means even me one day I'll be able to admit somebody. And that gave me a lot of hope. So I found a lot of love, a lot of acceptance and also support. Especially when I was going through the withdrawals, they would make soup for me, they would make porridge for me, they would do all sorts of things to make me comfortable. And I'm hoping that one day I'll be able to open a rehab so that I can give the same kind of treatment
to other people.
Because there are some treatment centers where you find it's a money minting machine, institution, where they don't really care about the feelings
about the well-being.
So many people can't afford that.
Client, yes, and then again, not many people can afford. Most of the treatment centers are private. We only have 3 that are government. That is Mathare Mental Hospital, Coast General, and Moi Referral in Eldoret. So you can imagine how many people are suffering. They cannot access the treatment facilities. So it's the program that I found there was very well structured. So I did the 12-step program, which many people are really disregarding. It's old-fashioned. It's what? But I have a lot of respect for that program. Why? One, it's holistic. It's holistic in that you are able to know who you really are, because it's where you accept that you have a problem.
Oh, so people are complaining the model is now old-fashioned.
It was actually started in 1935. But you can imagine, even all the support groups that we are referring people to, actually go by the 12-step program.
By the 12-step
Yeah,
program.
they go by the 12-step program. So if you look at the 12 steps, they are structured in a way whereby, first of all, they make you they know who you really are. You get to know who you really are. You get to know the kind of problem that you're suffering from. So when you go through the orientation and the disease concept of addiction, the effects of alcohol and other different types of drugs, by the time now you get to step 1, that you admit that you have a drinking problem, and you already have so much information that actually here, even denial, you cannot even deny that you have a problem. And then the environment is very therapeutic.
Conducive.
It's very conducive.
Yeah.
So a lot of self-awareness, and then actually we did in the 4th step we do an inventory of we have resentments inventory of the people we resented. Like we resented a lot of people. So it helped us know why we resented those people. And when you're doing the inventory, we actually came to find out that we were on the wrong. We hated the people who loved us so much. And then when you get to step 8 and 9, it tells us to make amends to the same people we found in step 4. So I found it to be very, very holistic and it's whole.
So you're like forced to go and make amendments with your family, with your friends.
Your family members. So again, there we have a list of how you're going to make those amends. Because there are some people, if you stole from somebody, you stole 100,000. You can't go and say make amends at you. I'm the one who stole.
I'm the one who stole. Yeah, you'll be arrested.
You'll be arrested. So it tells us make amends to the people you harmed, and apart from when you do so, it will harm that person more, or it will harm you. So what you can do is you make amends indirectly. For example, if this person has a company and you had stolen money from that person, go and
work for them.
Say, I want to be a volunteer in this company, and they will wonder, how come this person just wants to
volunteer?
Or you can just do indirect amends. Go and volunteer in the rehab and help other people with their sobriety. Become an outreach worker. Reach out to those people who are still suffering. Like me, I personally go to the drug dens, I go to the Changa dens, talk to them, give them hope, and tell them there is a way out.
There is a way out.
Even if they are not able to check into rehab, at least when they hear your story, some of them will change. Some of them will start going to church. And actually, from the churches that I've gone to, I've been to, they are actually changing. They are not even chasing away alcoholics when they come to church, because that person is coming to seek help.
To seek help.
I remember one time I went to church and I was thrown out. I wanted to speak to the pastor. I wanted him to pray for me, and I wanted him to, anitoa hiyo upepo ya ulevi. And I was actually literally thrown out by the ushers simply because
So you felt the society is not accepting
it's
you.
not accepting you.
One, your children have been taken away from you. 2, your people don't even want to be associated with you.
Your husband
3,
has died.
Your husband has died, your second husband has died, and you're wondering, what is this curse that I'm carrying on me? So I wanted this pastor to talk, to pray for me, so that this curse
at
goes
least
away.
it goes away.
And I was literally thrown out by the ushers. So I never got to speak to the pastor. And the only solution that came to my head was die. And that's the first time I attempted suicide. So I've been going to churches, and I'm very grateful to my bishop now. The church I go to in Gong is called Bishop Tingtoi. Our church is Gospel Revival Center, and we've done a lot in Kajiado County in terms of reaching out to the youth. So we have an annual youth conference every December. Like last year we had about 400 youth. So we have a conference, a 3-day conference where we talk about drugs, we do group discussions and all that. So we've been able to reach out to people in different types, in different places of Kajiado, Lerai, Osupoko, Ewalata. All those areas. So the churches, some churches are very supportive. Like I can say my church and my bishop, we are doing extremely well in that area, reaching out to the youth.
That's really
so
great.
I hope other churches will take from there and actually not throw away the alcoholics. They are coming to church because they need help, not because that they want to come. And actually, if an alcoholic can stay in church until the offering time comes, he cannot remove his money
Yeah.
and give an offering. Hiyo anapeleka kwa
Anapeleka
club.
kwa
But during
club.
praise and worship, they
They're
are
there.
very, very vibrant.
Yeah,
And they will
vibrant.
listen to the bishop. They will listen to the pastor. We never throw them out. When they come, let them listen. Even if he comes and sleeps, let him sleep.
Let him
because
sleep,
that's
yeah.
where he found peace.
Peace.
And then when he wakes up, he goes.
He goes, yeah, it's true.
This one time one came, and then I was told, Ann Mathu kona mgeni. So I went and talked to him. He said, "Mi nataka pastor wenu aniombee niokoke niwache ulevi." Nikamwambia kaa hapa. I rushed to the bishop's office. Nikamwambia, we have a person who wants to get born again and awache ulevi. In fact, bishop was going somewhere. I think na huko Oleraio, Olorien. He didn't go. He said no.
He had
Unless
to help
the
that
person
person.
this once.
Yeah, it's true.
And he came to church, and actually from there he had been. I kept on following up on him, and he would at times I would find him drunk, but then he would say no because aliokoka. But then I would not tell him now because uliokoka. Why are you drinking?
Why are you
because
drinking?
actually stopping to drink all at
You don't
once.
want to judge
Yeah,
him.
it's a journey.
Impossible, yeah,
it's
it's
a journey. It's
gradual.
a journey, and we've been
Yeah.
working with him. And I believe he just went one time. I think he was looking for a job or something like that. He must have gotten a job because we are not in touch anymore, but I believe he's okay.
Yeah.
Because he was shown a lot of love and acceptance in our church.
Oh, okay. So now, Anna, for you, which treatment methods did you receive at Rehabilitation
rehab,
Center?
Oh, it's I think the biopsychosocial model. That is
Can
what
you
we
take
used.
the viewers through it?
Okay, we look at addiction as a disorder of the whole person, and we also say addiction is a family disease, whereby when you have one addict in the family,
They can run
the,
in family.
the whole family is affected. When the addict is high on the drug of choice, the family is high on the consequences. What happens when an alcoholic or a drug addict gets arrested? It's the
Yeah,
family
it's
that
the
feels
family
the
that,
most.
yeah.
What happens when, like now, when every time I attempted suicide, the
It's
bill would
family.
fall on my
Yeah,
mom.
your mom.
My mom and my uncles, you see. So we say addiction is a family disease. So one, there was we had the orientation program, and then we had the one-on-one counseling, and then we had the group therapy. Group therapy, that's where we discussed, our own issues. That's where we had the psychoeducation.
The support groups,
That group therapy, that's why we do the 12-step program. And this is where now we discuss, when we get to a certain step, what was your experience? Or what is your experience now? So it's basically about sharing.
you share your
and we also
experiences.
have psychoeducation sessions where we learn about life skills, coping skills, and all that. So that communication skills, problem solving skills, decision making skills, so that when you come out,
At least you're a whole
you're able
person.
to communicate
Yeah.
and you're able to make tangible decisions.
Yeah.
And then there's also the family therapy. So the family is invited because they're also suffering.
They are
also sick
affected.
people.
Yeah.
They are sick because of this one
This
addict.
person,
He disrupts the whole family.
Yeah.
So the family needs to heal together with this person, so that by the time the person is discharged from the rehab, he goes to a conducive environment. So my mom was invited because now my dad is not there. My brothers couldn't actually come for those sessions. One because my sister had already died, my last born sister, and the other two were in active alcoholism. So it's only my mom who could come.
Yeah.
So I made amends with my mom the first time she came, and I said a lot of sorries. And she was taken through the disease concept. And this is when she understood that that I've been a very sick person.
Yeah.
This is when she understood that her other two children are also very sick. They also need this
Help.
kind of therapy.
Yeah.
And she was taken through the the program, because the program was so well structured. We had the daily program, the weekly program, and the entire program, the 3 months program. So there's also couple counseling for those people who have wives and spouses, and also partners. They will come and they'll be invited, so that when this person gets out, they get to understand them. And also there's aftercare, where they keep on following you. So I went to Homa Bay, so now my counselor can't come, but even up till today, 15 years down the line, we're still in touch.
They still follow up with you. That
they
is
still
so
follow
nice.
up with me when
Because
they see
of
me
reruns,
on TV. He's very proud of me. He'll come and my client, I'm very happy. I'm very happy with the kind of work that you're doing. So that is what really motivated me actually to go public, because actually after my friend left, I was the only female client with the about 35 male clients. So my therapist, you know, we used to talk a lot during one-on-one, especially when we're doing the exit planning, because exit planning is very important and we involve the family as well. So my mom also came for the exit planning, and actually my therapist, you know, suggested, and you are very, very social person, you are talkative, you have the courage, you can face the world.
This
the
is
same,
what you're
same
going
thing,
to do.
the person who picked me from the rehab told me, and you can make a difference in this country. You're a public speaker, you are not shy, you can face the crowd, you can face the world, and you can say what you think you know should be done and what should not be done. And actually this is the same thing that my therapist brought out, you know, from what they had observed as the, you know, multidisciplinary team. You know, when they come together, you know, you can see, you know, your group facilitator, your primary counselor, your whatever. When they come together, they can see the strengths in you. And that's why we're saying now, we're nurturing the strengths in the person. So, you know, they brought out those strengths and, you know, nurtured them for me to become a public educator. And that is one of the reasons that actually made me go public through the media, is for people to know that addiction cuts across the board. It's not only men who are getting addicted, women
Even
are getting
ladies,
addicted. And we have treatment facilities, you know, where women can go as well. So let us not look at, you know, in the African context, a woman is supposed to be a caregiver, a nurturer, a homemaker, and, you know, bringing people together. Yet now you're the one who is drinking and running away from your children. So, you know, you are stigmatized more than the man. Actually, look at this woman, and even they'll come and tell you, what kind of woman are you? So actually, that's the reason that I went public, and that's the reason that you've seen me maybe a lot of times on the media, and people will ask me, why do you keep on telling this story? And I tell them, it's all about giving someone hope. That there is
and
life
inspiring
after
someone and
addiction.
showing them they can also overcome.
It's not the end of your life, it's not the end of your career, it's not the end of everything. With treatment and rehabilitation, a person can spring back to life and become a productive member of the society. And that's why I've been doing this through nearly every other media house. I've been in Kenya, I've been, and I even the other day I had an interview with a diaspora TV station, and I talked about it, and I believe sharing this story gives a lot of hope to people, and especially women, and also to parents who have children who are struggling.
Who are struggling. I think we're about to conclude. And if there's anyone out there maybe who wants to reach out to you, can you share your contact, your email address, so that at least they can be able to talk to you, so that they can at least get hope?
And also tell them about, you have a book?
Tell them
about that.
I've written a book, Sober Again, by Ann Mathu. It's available on Amazon. It's available at Textbook Center, Kijabi Street, Savani's Bookshop, Accra Road. It's also available at Prestige Bookshop, Mamangena Street.
So
my
contact,
number, I prefer when people call other than writing. So my number is 0726 596040. So if you have a drinking problem, if you have a child who has a drinking or a drug problem, you can call me. Then I can actually contact you with the appropriate one of the best treatment facilities, depending again on the drug of choice and the intensity of the addiction, or the severity of the addiction. Then we are able to place them in the right treatment facilities. So if a person needs detox, then we'll be able to know where do we take you for that detox. Because detoxification is actually the first step in treatment and rehabilitation. But people tend to think that the moment you take a person to a hospital, now if I'm a detox, they call it rehab. We took him to rehab 3 times. No. When you take a person for detox, don't actually let them go back home. They should actually, from hospital straight to the rehab. So we have very good rehabs that have a detoxification unit within the rehab. So once you come in, everything is done within the rehabilitation center.
Fine. So I'll do more research. She'll tell me those rehabilitation centers, and then I'll be able to write them in the description box, so that if you have anything you want to reach out to those rehabilitation centers, you can actually reach out there. So guys, it's possible. If you have an alcoholic problem, it's possible to be sober once again. It's doable. It just takes the first step, and then that's it.
Ann has been sober for the last
15 years. So it's possible. And then if you have someone battling that, make sure you be nice to them. don't throw words at them, because that will make them go deeper into that. Yeah, so thank you so much, Ann. Unless, Doctor, you have something else to add?
No, I don't. I'm really grateful, Ann, for showing up. Yeah, we are really grateful. Thank you.
And thank you for inviting me. And I wish you all the best in your career. You're young doctors.
Thank you.
I'm very impressed by thinking of inviting someone like me, to give this kind of a talk. I really appreciate, and I hope more people will get help like I did.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.